Neverwinter Nights 2. Yes, I'm going to start calling this the non-completionist stream. I have been playing around with ideas, and I'm going to start a new character. So, the problem I've always had has been, I love the Ranger. It's a good character. I like dual wielding. I think it's a great way to go. You do a lot of damage because you get 2 hits per round. I know people will say that a two-handed sword can do more, but I just like that. That's the way I like to play. The problem is that as a ranger, if you go a strength-based ranger, you have to have high strength, which means you have to sacrifice dexterity, and the ranger can't wear anything but leather armor. Well, light armor. So the best you can do is chain shirt, armor class of 4. So you're going to be limited, and you are. I mean, I've played all the way through Neverwinter Nights 1 as a ranger, and you are limited by armor, and you do get hit a lot. If you play a dexterity-based ranger, because you don't have as many feats when you play, you have to sacrifice at least 1 feat to get weapon finesse, which sort of slows down your progression. And I've always felt that dexterity, you don't get any bonus to damage either. So you really have to be focused on critical hits. And that's what I want to try and do today, but not as a ranger. The advantage of playing a fighter... I'm going to go short human for some reason. The advantage of playing a fighter over a ranger is that as a fighter you can, of course, wear a lot different armor. Sort of blonde haired for some reason, and I don't know, facial hair. Yeah, let's do that one. I'm not overly thrilled on it, but that'll do. Okay, you can wear any armor, which is a little bit silly in a way, because I think the actual dex, the way armor and dex is handled is wrong. But we're going to give it a try. I did try playing off camera yesterday a strength-based ranger using scimitars, because scimitars have the higher crit range, the highest crit range of any single-handed weapon. They have a range of 18 to 20. And if you can get improved crit with that weapon, you will have 15 to 20 as your crit range. And it just seemed, I was playing with, didn't have critical improved crits yet. I only got to level 4 or something. I think I got to, where was it? I don't remember now. Around Fort Locke. And I was dual wielding scimitars, and I was critting all the time. Like, it seemed to me in other playthroughs I've done, crits seemed pretty rare. But this was seeming a lot more common. So, I am going with a fighter build that I played around with a few weeks ago, and we're going to see how that goes. So I'm doing a few things that probably aren't a good idea. No, I'll keep it at that. So that's the setup I'm going with. 14 for strength, 16 for dex, which is going to be my primary attribute. I'm going to pump dex every chance I get. I'm going to be buying dex-based items. It is going to be dex all the way. And I may stream a restart of the strength-based ranger as well. We'll see how that goes. Lately I've been liking natural leader. If you've got a charisma of 10 or higher, you can give all of your companions a +1 to their attack rolls, but you get a -1 to your saving throws. I looked at it and went, I think I can live with a -1 to saves if all of my companions are going to be that little bit better at attacking. It's probably a really stupid thing to do, but I'm liking it at the moment. So, I mean, I can't really tell that it's working well, but I like the idea of it. So, we're going with that. Right. I've got lots of points here to put in skills, which you normally don't get as a fighter. So the main skill, I want parry, because I'm going to play with that a little bit. I'm not going to bother with taunt, but I want tumble. Going to take law just to save me some money. And I think I'll take in... No. Let me just rethink this. What do we got up here? Yeah, I want diplomacy. And I was thinking of taking bluff, but I think instead I'll take intimidate because it's a class skill. And even though it's not a class skill, I'm going to take heal because I do like taking heal. It just makes heals a little bit better. There are other things. I could have taken taunt, but I never remember to use it. It's a big problem I have, is not remembering to use a lot of these things. So I'm not going to burden myself with it. Tumble's automatic. Law is automatic. Intimidate is an option when I'm in the screens. So, and diplomacy. So that's what we're going to do there. Now, this setup, we are going for so we're going to want 2-weapon fighting first and foremost, and then we want weapon finesse because we're dex based, and we want weapon focus rapier. That's our initial setup. I don't know why, but for some reason I've been rolling to get names starting with A. I guess it's so that they're in the top of the list when I'm searching for characters, but maybe a B or an A at the moment. Andy. It's pretty boring, but Andy Swiftblades. I'm not going to pick a voice because it just gets annoying after a while. You have to put up with all the other voices as is. So once again, I'm going to sort of skip through
so many years ago today.
Text screens and stuff like that. We've seen it all before. I'm not doing... maybe later once I get further on I will... I'll read out more of the text, but I just want to get going with this. I'm going to be disadvantaged to begin with because you start with a longsword, but you start with a longsword and a dagger, and in that very first fight downstairs I will get a short sword, so I'll switch to short sword and dagger. Then once I can buy my first rapier, if I don't find one, once I can buy my first rapier at Fort Locke, I may go rapier short sword for a while, or I'll just buy 2 rapiers. I haven't decided yet. The problem is that I'm going to get a penalty to hit when I use this. And I noticed that when I've switched to dual scimitars. For a while with my strength ranger I was scimitar and short sword, and once I got the second scimitar it seemed like I wasn't hitting as much for a little while, but then it sort of seemed, I think I got another level and it seemed to work out. So let's just get through this as quickly as we can. Level up the other guys first because they're easy to do. Just go recommend next, recommend next, recommend next, finished. Level up. Next, 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 finished. Same for Amy, cannon fodder, whatever her name is. Level up. Next, 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 finished. Okay, my 2 levels. So here's what we're doing. Fighter, of course. Intimidate, law, parry, That's all I can do at this point. Okay, it's going to be a little while before we can get... there's two things that we're going to be aiming for. There's power critical rapier, and then there's improved critical rapier. Sorry, I just realised I had an old value. I was using NWN2DB to record the character that I wanted to use, and I still had short sword rather than rapier as an improved crit. So I'm aiming to get those as soon as possible. I can get power critical at level 6, and I can get improved critical at level 8. In the meantime, I'm going to go for power attack at level 2, and then I can get cleave here at level 3. There we go. So that's going to help to begin with. Cleave is a great little skill. Every time you kill something, if you at the last hit that killed something, you automatically get another attack at a nearby opponent. I'm sure most of you know that, but if you don't, you do now. Damn it. Sword and shield. I don't want that shield yet. Okay, and then we're going to grab the parry skill, and we're going to chuck it there, and we're going to chuck power attack over here. I'm not going to use them yet, but yeah, so let's just get through this. Just power our way through everything as quickly as we can. Whoop, whoop, whoop. Which means we're clicking all over the place like some sort of madman, but that's alright. And out we go. And we're just going to charge into this battle. As soon as I can, I get these other weapons. So there is a short sword here somewhere. There we go. That I'm going to chuck in my offhand initially. But then once we get outside, we can get a dagger. And we'll go short sword and dagger because they're both finessable. See, at the moment, I'm only getting a +3 for my main hand weapon, but I'm getting a +4 for the short sword because that is my dex bonus on top of my normal attack bonus. My normal attack bonus is 3. Plus your dexterity minus the stuff that, because I'm dual wielding, blah blah blah. So once I get go short sword dagger, I'll be able to hit even easier because it'll be using my dex to determine hit.
I don't know. Georg is trying to gather the militia. Heads, but
okay, let's go. Let's take out this one. Where are we? Did we kill both of those? We did. Thought I paused there, but obviously I hadn't. Okay, I'm going to race back here and get this because one of these has a dagger in it. There we go. Let's swap everything out. Chuck that in there. That is my current setup. And as we can see now, +4/+4 rather than +3/+4. So I'm going to come and take down these guys down here. And I critted. Look at that. Not that that's actually anything special because short sword has the same crit as long sword.
Thank the god I have. If we're going to stop them, we need someone. Now we'd better.
I'm hoping once I pick up the rapiers, I'll see a few more crits than normal. Let's talk to this guy. Come back here, get the moss from the priest. cleric, whatever you want to call him. Brother Mering, if you want to be exact. Okay. Heals and buffs, which we didn't really need. We'll come back here. Whoa, what happened there? Okay, whatever happened there, it worked. And let's go.
Bring it to me!
Heard that voice a few times now. Someone, it sounds like an elderly woman going, "Please don't hurt me." I think it's actually Amy. Anyway, let's get this guy.
Get away! Did you, what? You came to drag me out there to die? Not on your life.
Intimidate.
I'm staying, but I tried to fight. All right.
Okay, so intimidate worked in that case. Did that actually, like... No, that didn't affect my alignment at all. But where are you? I don't want to go too close over there because I want to pick up this stuff before I trigger the stuff with the mage over there. Okay, we've got all of that. Let's talk to this guy. That's 3 harbormen now, 3 militia now. Let's get this out of the way. So yeah, the idea here is to try and build a setup which is crit based. I want to be attacking a lot, so I'm going to be improving my 2 weapon skills as much as possible so I can have as many hits per round as possible. And because I'm using rapiers, and if I go for improved crit on that, 15 to 20 rolls of 15 to 20 to hit will be crits. And I will also have a +2 or +4 bonus to the threat confirmation. So how that works, I've actually I had to work it out. I had to look it up and find out what it does. When you roll to hit initially, if you roll your crit value or higher, so 20 is always a natural crit, but depending on the weapon, you may be able to go 19 or even 18. And then if you've got improved critical, you can go down as low as 15, depending on the weapon. So if you do that, see, that was a critical hit there from me.
The stupid girl.
I'll show you actually.
To stay out of it.
I'll get out of this.
Georg and the militia. We must hurry to the star.
It's just down this road.
I do not know. We must hurry to the Starling farm before. If only I had.
Keyboard's
to the
doing something
north.
funny on me at the moment. So if we go back and have a look at that, we had a crit hit here, and so it's easy to explain when we do this. So I attacked the giant spider. It was a critical hit because I rolled a 19 or higher, and the weapon that I've got being a short sword, that would have been with the short sword, because it would tell you if it was the offhand weapon. Short sword, 19 to 20, and it's a ×2. So you roll first. That is high enough to be a critical hit. What you then have to do is the threat roll, where you have to roll again, and that value, which was 11, plus my normal attack bonus, which is 6, with 17, that was enough to be a hit normally. So that second roll means I actually hit with my critical hit, and then it would have multiplied the damage done by 2. In this case, it only did 6 damage, but you know, you hope to get that to become better as you go on, better weapons and things, but also eventually you'll be wanting to crit way more often. So the power critical, which I can get at level 6, it increases, it adds a bonus to this threat roll, and then improved crit makes it that I can get a lower number here. With the rapier, I'll be able to get from 15 to 20, which, if you look at it, that is that's 25%. 1 in 4 hits should be crits when I've got that. I think I said level 8 or 9 I'll be able to have that. So that's what the goal of this is, and because I'm a fighter rather than a ranger, I'm going to be able to wear whatever armor I want. Now that is a little bit weird, because if we just actually really briefly look at the armor... Ooh, I'm encumbered. Oh, because I got the poison, that's why I'm encumbered. Let me just rest so that I can maybe get rid of this poison effect. Okay, really quickly, if we look at my armor, this is scale mail, so its base armor class is 4, maximum dex bonus is 3. Now my dexterity is already at a 3 level, so if I increase my dex to +4 by going to 18, which I will in a few levels time, I'll go up 1 and then I'll go up again, that means I don't get to use all of my dexterity bonus. But what it doesn't do is it doesn't restrict me in anything else that's dex based, but I think it should. I think if you're wearing heavy armor and you have a dex, so let's say I've got a dex bonus of +4. If I'm wearing heavy armor with a dex bonus of +4 and I'm trying to do something that requires dexterity, the armor should be limiting me and I shouldn't be able to be as dexterous because, you know, I'm wearing this heavy armor that's restricting me, but it doesn't actually restrict you in that way. So, for an example, I can wear full plate armor. Full plate armor is an armor class of 8, but it only allows one dexterity point of bonus. So you can get a maximum armor class of 9 with that, right? But at the same time, I can still use my full dexterity bonus for things like hitting or for shooting bows or anything else that requires dexterity. I don't feel that that rule is implemented right. I feel it should be limiting me so that I can't have that bonus, because that would then encourage me to use lighter armors. When you play as a ranger, in a similar situation, you're limited to only being able to use light armor, so you have to be very careful. Chain Shirt has an armor class of 4, and it allows a maximum dexterity bonus of 4 as well, which is a total of 8. So assuming you're not wearing any other magical items, you can get an armor class of 18, even if your dexterity bonus is 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, you're only going to get an armor class of 18. However, if your dex bonus gets high enough, there is some advantage to going to lower armors. So studded leather, for example, has an armor class of 3, but it has a bonus of 5, so you can still get to the 8 armor, but it weighs less, so you don't have to carry it around, and you don't have to carry around as much weight, because that's the big problem I'm going to have. I'm going to probably get plate mail, at least initially, but it's going to be very heavy. And that's going to restrict how much other stuff I can carry. So when you play a ranger, though, or one of the other classes like swashbuckler, that's limited in the type of armor, it's sort of, after a while, you're getting to the point where your armor class bonus is so high that you're wanting to use the lighter and lighter armors because they weigh less. Well, actually, you still end up, it still ends up being, you pick whatever armor can give you the best armor class. If you happen to find, you know, if you've been using padded armor because it only gives you an armor class of 1, but it allows, I think, up to +8 of dex, and you've got dex +8, you might just go, well, I'm going to use padded armor because it's nice and light and I can do that. But then you find an enchanted chain shirt that is like +2 or +3, and that will give you 2 extra points of, or 3 extra points of armor class over what you've currently got. You'd be mad not to get it just because it weighs a bit more, you know. So it's very much, when you're playing ranger, you do have to be really careful. Did I do this barrel where that I don't recall if I did this barrel or not. So yes, I'm going to be using the heavy. I did. Okay, I'm going to be using the heavier armors which is only going to be a problem because I've got to carry it around. But once I've got that all organised, the idea is that this is going to be a crit-based crit-based build. I just wish there was more skills that improve the crit, like there was an epic crit and things like that, but there doesn't really seem to be. So you can only improve that threat, the threat level or the crit values once, and once they're at that level, there's not much more you can do. You know, it would be good if there was some other way to get more of a bonus in that. Good old cleave there. So yeah, not too many crits yet in this battle, as we can see. I haven't seen one yet, at least none of mine. And I'm having a bit of trouble taking that guy down. Let's go and help over here next. And see, then I can do this. I can turn parry mode on.
Let's see what you got. Let's go.
Parry mode only works when you're directly being attacked, though. So
Another wave is coming.
That's where you have to be careful. If no one's actually directly attacking you, you just sit there and do nothing when you're in parry mode.
Let's see what you've got.
Okay, we're all sort of...
More of them. Regroup.
We were all just chewing through them there. Let's see how we go here.
Blood.
Let's go. If we hurry, we can stop them before they find. I knew I could come.
We could use.
Always going to help out on that. Let's get this out of the way. There we go. Let's head in here.
Bring it to me.
Of course, just because I'm the guy I am, I always like to try and get this battle over as quickly as possible because I don't want any of the dogs to get killed. Ooh, I'm getting low. Here we go. Come on. Start hitting. There we go. Whoop. Better drink another potion. Whoa. Better drink a couple. I'll tell you what. Bevel's not doing all that well. There we go. That was another crit. Tell you what, the one thing that's really satisfying is when... Yeah, hello, dog. Is when you crit on a cleave. That is very satisfying. Let's talk to the kids. Okay, done this so many times recently I've memorised the keystrokes to get through that as quickly as possible. Now we're going to just loot a little bit. Actually, last time I tested out this character, I actually gave myself a bit of skill in traps and lock picking, detecting traps and lock picking. I didn't bother doing it this time. It didn't really seem like it helped all that much. Because it's not a class skill, you can't advance in it very well, and very quickly I got to the point where I couldn't open anything and had to have Nishka do it for me or beat it down myself, so I'm not going to bother sort of wasting points in that at this point. But there's going to be a magical dagger in here which I'm going to take because every little bit helps. And let's put that in our other hand there like that. It's all good. Ah, I just saw we've got a new follower. Elorella. Something like that. I hope I pronounced that right. I'm sure I didn't, though. But
Bring it to me! Let's spill your guts!
I don't know why, but I tend to target the bladelings over the grey dwarfs if possible in most cases. But, I don't know. They're the main bad guys. The Dowager, or however you pronounce the real name of the grey dwarves. They're just pawns.
Thank the gods that's over. We would not have helped.
And here come the rest. I've got to say, in all the playthroughs I've done so far as I've gotten through, which is, into Chapter 2, the Bladelings, the Githyanki as they're properly called, they're not really all that hard to kill. Even the Master Githyanki that was tracking us and everything. I found that fight very easy last time. So, damn it! I should have rested up in the farmhouse before this, but we got through it all right. Yeah, so I didn't find the Githyanki all that hard. Any of them. I pretty much chewed through them all. I was playing the furthest I got through was with my warlock
have
character.
Been so fortunate, and others have seen their final night. I understand you lost a friend of yours in the attack. Yes, those bladelings were very... I fear it may have drawn these creatures down upon us. Think it through. We can speak more. There is no time for that.
I don't even really have to go through all of these options, but I just like to.
Outside of town are very bevel, and that is the cries.
No offense, man. Still, if we're going the path that...
Okay, so we want to just quickly... There's always a couple of remains in this field here somewhere. Oh, I thought it was going to prove me wrong, but no, there they are. So this will be a couple of extra longswords, which of course we're not going to keep because we are a dex-based, not a strength-based. And even if I was strength-based, I would only be keeping them until I could get some scimitars, because scimitars do better crits than longswords.
You probably are here for some sort of...
Of course I'm here for some sort of reason. That's obvious. You don't go and talk to people unless you have a reason. Okay. So we're going to sell everything that we can. Even the +1 club. I don't take that amulet because I always forget to use it. I'm not going to use a bow. I don't want that shield. Okay, what we're going to do is we're going to buy that Ring of Protection and put that on straight away. And that's about the only interesting thing we can get from him. Thing that we really need. We don't really need it, but it's the only thing worth buying. He doesn't have anything in the way of weapons except what I've sold to him. A little bit of ammunition, and that's it. If you start as a ranger and you want to go an archery ranger, then you'll want to stock up on arrows. But even then, you're not going to need 1,000 arrows or anything ridiculous. You're only going to need a couple of hundred just to be safe. And I have done that. I played through for a little while as an archer and went down the arcane archer route. I can't remember if I started as ranger or fighter though. I think I started as ranger. But I just found once I got to arcane archer, the skills weren't panning out. They weren't really providing me with anything decent. And unfortunately, with most of these games, archery just doesn't do much for you. I'm actually, well, I consider myself an archer, even though I haven't shot in a couple of years now. But I've got several bows. I know a lot about archery, not just how to shoot, but the history of it and all that sort of stuff as well. I've done a lot of research and all that stuff. And I know these games are not realistic. In Baldur's Gate, I used to equip my entire party with missile weapons, because the way that the oh, Bevel critted that time. The way that the game works in Baldur's Gate, the way that oh, and there's my crit. The way that the game works, the game mechanics, in particular, it's to do with the fog of war, how you reveal opponents as you walk around the map. The way that works in Baldur's Gate is very linear and very direct. So if this was... Hang on a sec. I'm just going to have to pause for a second. Hang on. And we're back. Sorry about that. Okay, where were we? This way. Can't even remember what I was talking about now, but that's alright. I was probably just rambling on about something. This is about the only time when I wish I had a missile weapon. But you basically draw all of these guys into the fight, whether you want to or not. So I'm going to try and take out the lizard men first, praying for a few crits in the middle of it. I thought there was a shaman. I thought one of these guys was a shaman, but obviously not. Okay, now let's try and take that one out. Maybe not. Come on. Just bang bang. Oh, crit from Bevel there. Very nice. And he's down.
to me!
Was that a... No crits in there. I don't know, the game itself, when you read the manuals and everything, sort of tells you to keep an eye on... Actually, I should rest, shouldn't I? It tells you to keep an eye on weapons, because, you know, the whole crit thing, because if you look at most weapons that don't have... there won't be anyone, I won't have any here yet. You take an axe, for example. Its critical range is just 20, so you can only crit on a natural 20 roll. But it does 3 times the damage, not twice the damage. It has a times 3 multiplier. So you essentially do more damage with the crit, but you'll crit less often. And so the problem there is that if you pick an axe as your weapon, and even if you get the power critical and then the improved critical, the improved critical is only going to allow you to crit on a 19 or a 20. So you're better off using a weapon like a sword, which has a critical on 19 and 20 normally, and then it would be 17 to 20. Excuse me, hang on. Excuse me. Yeah, like a normal longsword, its critical range is normally 19 to 20, and if you get improved in critical, it's 17 to 20, which isn't quite your 20%, but it's still not bad. But the downside is that the weapons that have the highest crit ranges do the least amount of damage. Well, they don't do the least. They do the same as most of the others. Yeah, so they do the same amount of damage in a crit. Like, here, we'll pick up these. So these great swords, they have... we've got to level up anyway, so let's just have a look at these. These have... Examine. Great swords, they still have 19 to 20, and they do times 2. But if there was an axe, it would do just 20 as its crit. Even the bows, I think, only have 19 to 20. No, so this doesn't have a value, so it only crits on a natural 20, but it does 3 times the damage when you crit with it, not twice. And I think longbow is the same. Why am I resting now? That's it's not that silly, I think. I've got to level up. I don't think I get anything special at this level, do I? Let me just have a quick... Oh no, level 4, yes. Okay, I know what I'm doing here. This was actually a bit of a toss-up what to do here at this level. There's actually... Yeah, I could even swap this around a little bit. Okay, add to my decks. Let's go there, because we don't have the level yet to go on those. It's just those 3 next. Oh, I can get power critical there. Oh, I'm getting that there. Normally I was going to go for improved parry. So improved parry allows me to, when you parry, you make a roll yourself to oppose your And if your roll is higher than your opponent's attack roll, you parry the blow, and if it's 10 points higher, you counterattack, you riposte. This reduces that to only have to be 5 points higher. So there's three, and it's strange, these three things right next to each other are all things that would be good to take right now. Improved parry is what I was going to take. The other option was greater cleave, which allows me to do an unlimited number of attacks. So if I kill something, I use greater cleave to attack something else nearby, and if it also gets killed, I can keep going and attack another one, and if that one gets killed, I can keep going, and I can just keep going, and as long as I'm killing something, I will keep swinging. And Kelgar has it when you first see him, and you can just see him mow through things with it once he gets on a roll. But this allows me to... the threat roll, so I do my normal roll, and it says, yep, you rolled a critical hit because you rolled, short sword, 19 or 20. Okay. Then, as I said before, I showed in the example, we then roll a second roll to confirm the threat, as they call it. This will give me a +4 bonus to that. So I think that's going to be a better thing to go with straight up. I'm actually going to edit my build here. I didn't realize I could do power critical at that point. Now this is in rapier. I don't have a rapier yet, so it does sort of seem to be a little bit weird that I'm going to get that before I've actually got a rapier to do anything with it. But I think what I'm going to do, I don't tend to parry all that often, so I think I'm going to rework my build that I had so that then at level 6 in 2 levels time, I'm going to take greater cleave rather than improved parry, and then I'll leave improved parry for level 9. So having power critical that soon, does that give me improved crit any earlier? Doesn't look like it, because the next level in which I get feats is level 6, and I can't do anything with that. So that's good. Got that. Right. Okay. So I really want to get a rapier ASAP. I'm not going to find... well, I'm going to be very lucky to find one here.
What's up?
Let's level up Bevel. Because I don't care about him in my... he's not actually going to be in my party at all really much longer. We are just going to go next for all of those. Whoops, wrong person. I'm going to lead. I'm going to save because I haven't done that yet. What's my character's name again? Why can I not remember his name? It's Andy. Whoa, Andy, wow. It's an actual name. Andy, there we go. First save of the game. Should have saved a bit sooner, but anyway. Didn't need to. And we have the creepy elven druid watching us from the distance. Frankly, she wasn't all that far away. I don't know why we couldn't see her there. Okay. This is such an easy dungeon. The best option is to just charge everything in here. Even the shamans in here aren't all that spectacular. Come on, though. I'm missing. Oh, it did crit though. Didn't do a hell of a lot of damage, but... There we go. Okay. Should be all of them here in this first room, I think. There's no more in here. Yeah, no. Did hear something strange there, but don't know what that was. Sorry about that, my puppy's being a little bit weird, making funny noises. Yeah, get up on the lounge, go on. Okay. And yes, I know there's a trap down here, but I always just charge through it. Half the time it never even hurts me. 2 points of damage, I can live with that.
Let's go!
I hate how it doesn't follow like that. Like, that was the creature that I was attacking, and it moved away from me, and it just stands there. Ah, nice. Critical hit, and then a cleave to follow up. Okay. I was positive in Neverwinter Nights 1, if the opponent sort of moved away like that, it would follow. Going to very briefly rest here if I can, because my health is getting a touch low, and I don't want to spend any potions on it. Do I have any other heal potions? Nope. And there's nothing much new that I can do there. I might keep those bolts rather than sell them, because I might try and pick up a cheap crossbow somewhere. Let's see, are these guys going to pop in there? No, they're not. Okay. Half the time when you come in there, the shamans are against the wall, invisible. There we go. There we go. And yeah, I finished him off. Good. So I was playing my strength-based dual-wielding ranger the other day. Yesterday, actually, I think. And I was very surprised to actually find a scimitar in a drop. I don't recall having seen it there before. But it was very nice, because that's the weapon I was using for that character. I don't know, it seems like, at least in this official campaign,
Let's see what you've got.
in Neverwinter Nights 1, in the official campaign, and even in some of the other campaigns, it seemed like loot was a little bit biased towards your weapon type. So any weapon focuses you had. So, for example, if I had a weapon focus in two-bladed swords, which was a ridiculous thing in Neverwinter Nights 1, if I had a weapon focus on that, you would find a little bit more often than, you know, than random, that's the loot that you would get, would be, as opposed to any other weapon, you would get a two-bladed sword. Another crit there, very nice. So, yeah, are these guys going to come in? They normally do. Okay. If they're not going to come in, I'm going to come around and attack them. Yeah, but it doesn't seem like in this Neverwinter Nights 2 campaign, and this is the only one that I've played so far, it doesn't seem like the game is biased in any way to the weapon focus that you have, because I've had some interesting weapon focuses before and actually not seen anything special. Like in Neverwinter Nights 1, the starting equipment was even modified slightly to be based on, in some cases, based on your weapon focus. So if you were weapon focused in you know, something like Warhammer rather than longsword, and you were a fighter, when you opened up your first chest and got your equipment, there was a Warhammer in there, not a longsword. And it's like, okay, that's pretty good. That, you know, that helps me to start off because that's the weapon I've got. That's the weapon I wanted to use, and you're going to let me use it. But it doesn't always... It doesn't do it in this game. You know, you can start off with whatever weapon focus you want.
A warm blood. Here, and this gives you the right to intrude on our lands and disturb our most holy of rituals. What do you propose then, warm blood? Your word kill.
I can't remember what you have to do to get through that, and it's just as easy to kill them. They're really not that hard. It's only if he casts Daze or something like that on me, particularly when I'm this close in, that it's all that hard. Most of the time I get through this fight with barely a scratch. Was that a crit? It was damn quick, whatever it was. No, it was an attack of opportunity because he was casting a spell. Aha! And he obviously didn't have combat casting as a feat.
Let's go!
Two of them left. And they're all down. Another +1 dagger, which I'm not going to use, because hopefully I'm going to very soon be able to get myself a decent weapon, i.e. a rapier, or two, in fact, would be great.
We were risking life. Dagon can do his own blasted quest.
Let's go. I've never actually tried the conversation in the next bit about defending Bevel, basically, to Dagon. I've never tried it. I probably should at some point, but I'm not going to do it today because I just want to get through this.
Yeah, what? No.
I don't see how.
Now, for the shard. Let me see. All that remained. That, and so I kept, so to speak, many villagers, so to speak.
I've already done that one.
If so, then perhaps that is the only reason it is the only thing of substance in the... You are too young to remember. Duncan owns an inn in the docks district of the city. The beast, say your farewells. Your boots return.
Okay, so I'm going to talk to these guys first. I think if you don't say that you want to talk to them first, you end up... no, talk to him last, because I can't carry too much. If you just say to Dagon straight up there, you're ready to go, I think you just automatically leave, and you head to the Weeping Willow Inn. That's all I need from her. Is that quest to find the bad guy.
Dagon is can you at least tell me why you're going? I trust you. You might want to here. Galen. With the way he... you're lost two. One of the... And lastly, stick to... your guess is as good as mine. Of course. So...
why did I ask him that? I hate this thing.
In our own... Right you are.
Because the stories are full of crap. And he will heal me. There we go. Okay, come back to... I don't know why I get... Oh, no, he didn't give me a buff there. I was going to say, I don't know why he gave me a buff, because I can't use it. So let's just pick up this. If I was going to continue using longswords, I'd use that longsword only because it looks different. Really, it's nothing special.
This incursion, I have nothing. Go if you must, but mysteries remain here that I plot. You have your moments of wit, I grant you. Help with it as functional as the famous harbor. Oh.
Normally I'd go through all of that guff, but I don't care about it. I'm going to keep that shield. I always sell this thing because it's pretty useless. It's only got 3 charges on it, and there is that mass cure serious wounds uses 3 charges, so you get 1 use out of the mass cure serious wounds, and from then on it's just a light spell. So I always sell it. Let's get rid of that. I don't need that, or that, or that, or that, or that, or that, or that. I can't sell that. I'm going to think, what am I going to do? No, I'm not going to... I'm going to sell that scale. And that, and that, and that. We're going to sell that, and we're going to sell that. So let's just reorganize all that. So we're going to keep this briefly for Kelgar until we can buy... well, just for the first fight, basically, in the inn. We're keeping that. I can't sell those yet. It's the only reason why I'm not, because they're not worth a gold. I need to get about 45 to 50 of them. If there was any better weapons here, I would buy them, but there isn't. In particular, if there was a light or heavy crossbow, I would take it. Just as something to get off a single shot at distance before I close. I like to do that where I can, and preferably I would use a heavy crossbow for that, because it does just that little bit extra damage. Let's go back and talk to Dagon. I don't think I technically have to, but I'll be complete and I'll do that.
Have you said your farewells?
Yeah, ready to go.
Get to the road itself. Instead,
yeah. And we're done. Okay, let's head out the correct way. It's out this way. Yeah, out here. We've spoken to everyone, we've done everything. Let's go and meet Kelgar. And I think while I'm waiting for this to travel, and i.e. load, I'm just going to pop out for a sec and get a drink. So I will be right back. And look at this, back just in time. Okay. Let's help out Kelgar. I actually,
Now that we're outside,
You're a small one to be taking this road all by yourself.
tested
Nothing
a
that can
build.
s-
Let me just
if you're
get through
We're
all
not
this
frightened
first.
of either of you, and it seems to me
out this come. All right.
I actually tested out a build a few days ago of a dwarven strength-based fighter, two-weapon dual wield fighter, whatever, however you want to pronounce it. And I called him Cussin, CH. So Kelgar is spelt Kheljar. He's got a cousin who also, it's Kalmar or something.
Name's Kelgar, by the way. Huh? So tell me, what seems it's your lucky day then? Now, I say...
So I had this other character called Cussin, spelt with a KH as well, Khusin, and he was Cussin Iron Fist. And he was going to be a dual-wield, strength-based ranger using warhammers, dual warhammers, because you can get...
So I punched him too. So to make... And that's why, if you know of a... Aye, that's the shot. No stranger...
So you can get a... later on in the game, you get gauntlets of strength, of the Iron Fist gauntlets, I guess they're called. And there's also a belt, and there is a... eventually there is the...
All right.
The warhammer. And so the plan was that I was going to use... Just hang on a sec. Sorry about that. Attention-seeking puppies again. Yes, so I had this dual-wielding dwarven character who was going to be... I just critted again, didn't I? Look at that, I did too. Yeah, and it just... Of course, it didn't really work very well because warhammers only have a crit on 20, so it wasn't really going to crit very much. You know, strength-based ranger is still, you know, a good character, dual wields, etc. But you know, ultimately there are better options than using warhammer. But it was something different to try, and I played through a little bit with it, and it was alright. And you get interesting conversations with Kelgar when you do that. Okay, let's head upstairs and rescue these people. We did pretty good in that fight. We've both got full health still. So I've given Kelgar his axe and his shield. If you don't do anything, he fights barehanded, and it's ridiculous. It really is. Because he didn't take his shield. I gave him a shield and he didn't use it.
Right, Botic.
Oh yes, he did. He's wearing it, but it's a bit glitched. I didn't think it was actually there. So that's alright. Yeah. Oh, Kelgar crit this time. See, look at that. He did greater cleave. He hit multiple times. So Kelgar here hit this. He attacked and hit. He damaged it for 8 points, which killed it. He then did greater cleave with a critical on this one, giving it 28 points damage and killing it. And then he greater cleaved on this one hit it and did 10 points damage. Now the reason why he did so much damage when he critted is because that weapon, as I was mentioning before...
looks like we have company.
This weapon has just a 3 times critical threat base. So it only crits on a natural 20, but it does 3 times the damage when you attack, not 2 times. Oh, Kelgar's in a little bit of trouble, so I might throw him that potion and that.
Looks like we have company.
Yes, yes, yes. I'm going to let him drink that, and I might even just try and heal him quickly while I'm at it. There we go, that's better. And now let's take down this last guy together. And there we go, Kelgar got him before I could get in. Okay, well, let's head in here. Whoop, I hate that. Oh yes, and I critted there, very nice, on a 19, which is good to see. And I did another one. Or is that the same one? No, that was the same one. That's alright. But I did a cleave with my offhand against the other one.
That's all you got?
He just taunted him. Okay, let's talk to this guy. Your wife's downstairs. Oh, you can leave. Get out of here. Okay. I'm going to loot the rest of these rooms first. There's nothing super great in them, but, you know, just little things that come in handy. Healing kits are useful. I've got a little bit of skill in healing now, so I can do a bit more use with them. Oh, let's pick up those remains before we forget. Got a chance when we've done everything to come back, I guess. It's always 50-50 as to whether I bash down these now or come back after I've rescued Galen in the room there. I might leave the other chests in this room here until after we've dealt with these guys. It's just absolute orgy of hits there. Okay, let's just power through that. Let's bash this open. I think there's only like a handful of gold in there. It's really hardly worth it, but right now we just want to get on our way to Fort Locke so that we can get a couple of rapiers. See, there you go. There's the scimitar that I got last time. Maybe that is standard. Maybe it's not a random loot drop that I got. Loot drop. Listen to me. Think I was playing bloody PUBG or Ark or something like that. Don't get me wrong, I have played Ark. Haven't played PUBG. Haven't had a computer good enough to run it on, and I don't run Windows, so I can't play it. Well, I could if I run it under wine, but I'm not going to get into that. That's not to say I don't. This is actually running under wine. But yeah, I'm trying not to run too many things under wine because it can get a little messy. Actually surprised how well this is running. I debated whether to buy this at one point, and I took the chance, and it's been running great. So Unfortunately, Neverwinter Nights 1, I can't stream properly. It has some issue where the screen flickers in the recording. The screen never flickers in the actual game itself, but when I look at the recording, it's flickering around like anything. Okay, so we accepted the money from them. You've got to be careful with that one. If you pick the first option, you give them the money back. I could try and get a reward out of this guy, but I'm not going to. I just think if I keep doing that, I'm going to see the same thing over and over again. So let's just go straight to sale now. Okay, so we don't want that. I'd sell those if I could. Don't want that. Don't want that. What we want here is normally I'd buy a set of full plate for Kelgar. But I'm tempted to get the full plate for me and give Kelgar half plate. Or even something less than half plate. I could give him my scale, couldn't I? Yeah, it's nowhere near as good as... And they don't have Brigadine or anything like that. So I need a change shirt for... No, I'll get that at... No, I can't get that there, so I will get the chain shirt now. So let me think about this. I'm going to need 2 other bits of armor. I'm going to need something for Nishka and something for Elanee. Elanee can wear the scale mail that I've got here, so I'm going to buy a set of full plate and a set of half plate. I think I'm going to take the full plate. Kelgar's going to have the half plate, and he's going to carry my scale mail, and he's got a change shirt. I'm going to give him a heavy shield, and he is eventually going to get... I'm eventually going to make him get weapon focus in the Warhammer so that he can use the Iron Fist Warhammer in the long run. Right now, I'm going to take that braces of armor +1 to help me out a little bit. That gets my armor class to 21, which is pretty good. There's no rapiers here. There is a heavy crossbow though, so I'm going to take that. And for now, I'm just going to do that. So I've got those on the bar, and I can switch to the crossbow. That's good. No sense buying a short sword +1 because I'm going to switch to rapier as soon as I get it.
Yeah?
So here we go. Half plate for you plus that better shield gets you to 21. And we just got a new follower. Thank you, Communist Smeagol. Communist Smeagol. Interesting name. Well done. Okie dokie. I don't think there's anything else I want from here. Magic pouch only does 20% reduction, so it's really not worth it. Especially at that price. Ah, that's right, I need to also get... I'm going to just get a longsword for Elanee as well, because she can use longsword. So... everything else I should probably get... No, I've got... oh, no, I should get some more bolts. Even though I'm not really going to be using all that many. I'll probably... that 20 that I've got there, they're +1. They'll probably last me for quite a while. But I'll take the chance anyway. Okay, I think that's pretty good setup. Let's rest here before we head off. Didn't mean to pause there. And let's head out. And we have this little cutscene.
Look, we're heading in the same direction, and you seem to have more enemies than friends. What say we good and don't?
Okay, so this is the way I normally do this. I head over to here first, but I only go as far as rescuing Galen from the lizardfolk, and that's why I've got the crossbow out. Well, not really, not entirely why, but with the crossbow out I can get a quick shot in on one of them, and then I'll switch to...
To battle! Take that! You cannot win!
Okay. So... do this, and now we're going to head back out as well. Let me switch back to that, just in case. Actually, no. I need to stay with swords. And now we'll go to Fort Locke, where again we will meet Galen. And even though there's a bunch of wolves over this way, what would that be, to the northwest? We're going to ignore them. We're going to come up here to Galen and rescue him from his guards who have turned on him. And then we're going to go and rescue Nishka. Looks like they've turned on you. Won't let you rob him.
Time for a little fun!
Actually, apparently if you kill Galen, you get a decent rapier off him. But I'm not going to do that. Couldn't stand by and let it happen, blah blah blah. Damn it, I clicked on the option not to accept the reward. It did make me more good. But I'm already, I think, at, well, yeah, I was probably at 95, and it's made me up to 98 now. It's like, I'd rather the money, really. So much stuff you can do with gold. And apparently it weighs nothing, so, you know, why base your currency on it? I don't understand, but... So we're going to get in a quick shot with the bow first.
Take that! That's all you got? Let's... Ha! Ha!
And there we go. Although that was Kelgar that finished that off with Greater Cleave. Whoop. And we're not going to bother switching back to crossbow here because we don't want to get in close with these guys. We don't want to, but yeah, standing back doesn't help. So. Oh, here we go.
Leave me alone.
What? Hey, hold on. Looks like she's got friends.
This don't.
That we are. Caught this demon. It's good at.
I don't know why. There's several fights like that where you start off at the fight and it's got you running in the wrong direction. Come on. Man, I wish I had my rapier here so I could start critting. Because he's just healed himself. Really need a crit on this guy to take him down quick. There we go. That's the way you do it.
This day is your last. Take that.
Well done, Kilgar. Oh, you was just knocked down.
Take that.
Come on. Come on, let's take him down. We want to just crit. Yes, finish with a crit.
Where did you come? Sorry if I sounded surprised. Of course, they never. Of course, it's just banditry.
Oh, leave.
Right. So, where is it? I just want to see that I finished on a crit. Yes, critical hit. Love it. I almost want a button that I can press every time I see a crit. It has a little cheer or something that goes off.
Everybody, follow me!
For someone who was near death a second ago, in that fight, you're doing pretty good there, Nishka. Okay. All of that stuff, none of which we're going to give her. So, we're going to sell that. That's a dagger +1, which... No. She's going to get my short sword initially. Normally, I would be giving her a rapier.
How can I help?
But seeing as I want to buy the rapiers, she's not going to give her that, now that I think about it. Because I want to be using the rapiers, and there's probably only going to be 2 of them here at Fort Locke. I want them both. One of them's going to be magical, the other one not. So here's what we're going to do. We come up here and we buy those rapiers. I use them both. She can have my short sword for now. Later on, we'll get her either a normal rapier or a magical one. Whichever we can find. But we're going to have to wait until we get to Highcliff for that, I think. So we don't talk to anyone else here except for the 2 merchants. So Galen gives us a little bit of a questy thing saying that we should go and talk to that guy, the Lieutenant What's-His-Face. That is his name. It is Lieutenant What's-His-Face. It's of the Highcliff What's-Her-Faces. So we're going to sell all of this stuff. And that. He doesn't have much in the way of that. His weapons is non-existent. I think he has a lesser magic bag, which is worthwhile getting when we have enough money, but we don't yet. Because we want to talk to this guy, and we want to buy weapons. He won't have any armor because he's only a weaponsmith. Let's just sort that out. Okay, so we want both of these rapiers, that one and that one for me. So 5 and 6 plus 5 plus 6, 1 to 6 plus 2, 1 to 4 plus 1. Which one's the magical one? That one is. So let's put that one down first and that one down second. Plus 5 plus 4. So that's okay. I mean, that's dropped 2 points to what it was, but it's not like this is now 4 and 3 and it used to be 6 and 5 sort of thing. Like, we haven't dropped hugely because we've got the weapon focus and that's magical. So I can live with that. It sort of feels like I'm going to hit a little less often, but this is what I want. The 18 to 20 crit range, and once I can I've already got power critical, so when I hit, the threat hit is going to be +4 for that, so it's going to be a total of +10. And then I'm going to give that, so I don't sell that prematurely. We're going to sell that, which gives us a bit more money. So yes, when I do actually crit, I'm going to confirm that crit much easier already. See, I could swap that for a short sword +1 for Nishka as well if I wanted. I could also buy the Warhammer +1, but I'm not going to, because very, very soon we get a Morning Star that's enchanted, that's quite powerful, that we're going to give to Kelgar in the meantime. And even though we're going to be giving him the skills in Warhammer, we're probably not going to get him one until there's a good one that we can get in the docks, I think it is. I think it's called the Lesser Rift Hammer, and it's quite good, so we will get that when we can. It's almost tempting to swap my crossbow for a heavy crossbow, but I'm not going to, because I'm not going to be using it primarily, although I'm going to switch back to it right. Oh, I can't. Oh, I can. I can do that. I'm going to switch back to it right now. So Kelgar will keep his axe for now, and then what we're going to do now, well, we'll actually really quickly rest and then save. And then what else I'm going to do is I'm going to, well, I'm even going this direction. I'm not. That's not the way I want to go. Andy, save. Okay, okay. So we actually want to come out this way, because it's the closer exit, really. And we want to head to Highcliffe. We're not actually going to go there yet. I just want to get Elanee in my party. And the easiest way to do that is head to Highcliffe.
No place to run.
This is getting tiresome. What?
In the shard of an owl. Oh, we will fool. I shall enjoy killing you.
And it doesn't matter what you say. He says the same thing. And then, of course, the problem with this is here she's coming down behind them. See, she jumps down behind them, and then suddenly, oh, look, she's right here next to you. What's going on? Where is her animal companion, though? I think the animal's all the way down there with the bladeling, maybe. So what we're going to do is we are going to give a sword, a shield, and some scale mail armor to Elanee. Now, she can't put the armor on during combat, but she can definitely swap the weapons out. And meanwhile, I am going to swap my weapons out, and I'm going to charge down here and try. Man, did I just... how many crits did I see just then? There was an attack of opportunity, 2 attacks of oh no, that was Kelgar with an attack of opportunity. I got an attack of opportunity followed by a crit. And was that was Elanee critting on the bladeling. Oh god, my health's way down there. I didn't notice that. Let's drink a couple of potions really quick. Cool, and then a healing from Elanee, and we are almost done. There's just this one last guy here left standing. And I don't think I've given... I haven't given her weapon properly. She was using
Forgive me.
melee hand-to-hand.
Things about to attack you. I'd like to help if I could.
Yeah, we're doing
through all of this.
Not rare enough to have you do what you
always.
Yeah, before casting insight. Very well. But I thought that perhaps I can lead you there. But they keep calling you collect. Then it looks like when it comes to answers, we have little. And so I followed them to learn of their intentions, and if possible, very well.
What?
Is there some?
I'll say. You're still talking.
If you fine, let's be off. Judging by the sun and trail, you were headed to Neverwinter. A shard. Let's be.
This is a long way from the...
Agreed.
Not far. This is Eridus, the maiden's glade.
Carrie!
In the tongue of Harborman.
Sorry about that.
You are correct. Just as
Did they...
The road, the
So, I don't know how you saw the animals when they're behind you, but I've got to make sure you've got
Look who showed up.
a weapon in your hand. Thank you. God. Why did I forget about that? Although she did alright in that last battle without it.
Nature will have its say.
Yeah. Give me a...
The animals here are...
Well...
I say we fight them.
I would prefer...
Okay. Let's make sure that you're wearing your armor. Now, what we're going to do is we're going to put that there and that. Just excuse me. There we go. Sometimes the game gets a little screwed up and it thinks weapons are in different slots than they really are.
Follow me.
You see multiple copies of them and all that weird sort of wonderful stuff. Okay. I don't even know why I've got power attack on the bar there, you know. I'm not going to use it. Am I facing the wrong way? I need to be going this way, don't I? Just got the crossbow out so I can get a first hit on things. We're going to come over this way a little bit. And first hit on that wolf. Spending all this time scrolling back to see when I get if I get crits and stuff. Just keep an eye on the screen. It tells me if I get crits. It's good enough. Okay, and we are going to switch back to that. Let's draw these guys in.
Let's see what they're made of.
Can I get another shot? Yeah. Ooh, was that... I think that crit was me. Yep, critical hit the ball on a 19. I want to see the 18 crit. That's what I want to see. Not automatically attacking anything.
That's it for me.
Oh, didn't realise you were down. Oh, that was a 19 crit. That's not... That's alright. We're at a position now where we can rest. Thankfully. Yes, Nishka, up you get. Let's rest. Excuse me. Okay. Let's come over here, do our little interaction with these dead wolves.
These wolves, whatever.
Why?
You have.
Oh, God, why does it do that? Come out of a little conversation like that and suddenly you're facing the wrong way. Or at least the opposite way to what you were just before that. Yes. That was a natural 20, that crit. I don't know, they don't look much like badgers to me, even giant ones. Not that I'm a badger expert or anything. I don't even have badgers here in Australia. Unless you sort of pronounce it as sloppily as we do, and it sounds like you're saying badgers, as in like a name badge, not a badger. Okay, crossbow. Minor hit. One more, come on. There we go. I think I missed with the second one, but that's alright. Oh, and I critted. On an 18 too, yes. And look at that threat roll. There's no way that crit was missing. And Kelgar finishes him.
Elanee, I
hate that little speech.
Lil, I failed.
And we got our level 2, that's right. I forgot about that. Let's level up.
I am listening.
Okay. Because you are a spellcaster of sorts, I'm going to pay a little bit of attention to what happens with this. Recommend there, that's fine. Let's see what spells you got and redo them all, because frankly 0 level spells cantrips are absolutely useless, but I'm going to fill them with cure minor wounds even though you never use them. But, you know, I don't want her casting other things is the main problem. So this one here, there's only really a couple of spells I find useful in here. I don't want her spending all of her time bark skinning people and stuff like that. Body of Sun and a couple of Creeping Cold. The Creeping Cold do pretty decent damage for a 2nd level spell. And then we're just going to go Cure Mass Wounds. Once she gets one more level, we'll put Call Lightning in, but I don't want too many of them there because she ends up using them on
How can I help?
pitiful little creatures the first time after you've rested. And it's just not worth it. Increase the dex. Whatever you recommend there, and we're good.
Yeah?
Let's see, what do you get, Kelgar? Apart from, like, all of the hit points. Recommend, yeah, like 15 hit points. That's insane. Although his dex, his constitution's only 14. Oh, he must have toughness as well. And I don't think I get anything at this level either. It's level 4. No, I should be getting power crit. No, I already did that. This is level 5. That's right. No, we don't get anything at level 5. It's the first of the early levels where you get nothing. Okay, so we want... just 10 more hit points. Okay. +6, +5. That's good. And we'll save it there. Good old Andy. Okay, let's head out of here. We're not going to go to Highcliffe after all. We only went on the road to Highcliffe so that we could get Elanee in our party. Now that she's in our party, we're going to go back and do the other parts of the map we haven't done yet. So we're going to go back to Fort Locke. We're going to do these wolves over here. Once it loads, waiting. Okay, so we're going to come straight over here, and there's some wolves up there. Just pick one of them. Can I put a bolt into it? It's not going to let me. Oh, critical hit with the bolt. Gee, it's a bit disappointing it only did 10 damage, because that should have done triple the damage. It probably did 3, and it tripled it and then added a +1 for the arrows. Examine. Oh. Critical on a heavy crossbow is only 2 times, but on a short bow it's 3 times. Okay, so that means it did 5 damage and just multiplied it. There we go. And let's see if we can take this guy out before he gets close as well. A crit.
I'll take care of this.
Higher crit range with the crossbows, but not as much damage as with a normal bow. Oh, you hadn't recognised that before. Not that I really care, because I'm not trying to crit with them. For me, critting is something I want to do with the rapier.
Let's see what they're made of.
Okay, if I switch back to that, there's more there. Yep. Going a bit crazy with my scrolling there. Great cleave. Gotta love it. And I'm gonna have it very soon. At next level. Okay, don't stand back. Nice crit there, Nishka. There we go. And we're done. And that was all pretty easy. It sort of looks like there should be something in there. It's obvious that that's supposed to be the direwolf's den, I guess, but you can't actually go in there. So it's a little disappointing. Because we've been in a couple of swamp cavey type things so far, but we haven't. Oh, one actually. We're going to do the other one in a minute. So we're going to head back into Fort Locke, and we are going to sell up anything, which we haven't got a lot of actually. So we're not going to bother now that I think about it. We're going to rest here, and then we're going to go and do this other area that we haven't done yet. So we're back to the swamp cave, which we didn't finish last time because we just wanted to rescue Galen. So there is a bunch of lizard folk over here. So we can take them out with the crossbow, or at least start to soften them up a little bit with the crossbow. Oh, and that's a nice crit there. I don't even think it was me, was it? Who got the crit? Oh, yeah, no, it was me. And it was a natural 20 crit too. And that's all of those ones. There's another group here, so let's switch back to crossbow, and that was a crit. One shot kill. So come on in. And another crit. Man, I am just critting like crazy tonight.
I think we've had
And again! Is that one dead as well? Okay, I think we missed the remains over here, so let's pick that up. Okay, now there is still some more guys just over that direction, but we're going to come into these little camps first and clear them out. I think this chest is trapped.
How can I help?
Nishka can remove the trap and then unlock it. Yep. The second group are over here, and I say this several times, but if you're using Z to see everything, you might think that's all one group, but there's actually two separate. There's this little chest here, and then there's these crates here. It's not a big deal, but you know, if you just click on the big ones at the front and not realize that you're missing the ones at the back, well, you're missing, aren't you? Okay, let's get these. Actually, no, let's not get these guys, because there's also guys right there. I want to attack them first. For some reason they don't light up the same as the other guys. I figure if I can pull them in first. Man, we're getting crits all over the place tonight. It's crit central. And Kelgar crits. And I crit again. Alright. And one hit him. 15 points of damage. And Nishka crits. And kills in one hit. Man, this is the crit factory tonight. Yeah, it does need some special attention, but why are you all the way back there?
How can I help?
Yeah, you can unlock this damn chest rather than standing there looking... I was going to say pretty, but you're not really all that pretty. I mean... Yeah, I mean, you're not ugly, but... You're not like a supermodel or anything. Whoop, another group here. Let's soften them up. Oh, I missed. How did I miss? There we go.
Time for a little fun. Let's see what they're made of. Take that.
And that was pretty quick work. And no one dropped anything. What a pain. Okay. Those were the guards before the entrance. Trap triggered, but it's no big deal. A few points damage. Let's take out these giant spiders. See, can I get another?
I think we've had enough of this one.
Yeah. And that was the end of him. And let's... Hello. I want you to switch to melee weapons now. There we go. Let's bring on the crits. No. Okay. Who was that? Nishka or... Yeah, Nishka. And I critted with the crossbow for... It's only 7 points of damage. It's an odd number to get when you... It should be an even number. It's very odd. Okay. Have I got my... Yes, I got my rapiers out. Good. Look, the whole dual-wielding rapiers is a ridiculous thing. Sure, weapons were dual-wielded occasionally. Rapier and some sort of parrying dagger would be a realistic solution. Realistic option. But hey, the game lets you do it. And pretty much even encourages it. So, I'm going to do it. Even if it does look stupid. Okay, there's a trap right here. Yeah, I'm just going to run through that. Another trap there that I triggered. And I crit again. There was a cleave in amongst all of that. Okay. And we have a little bit of stuff here to pick up. Let's come around here. There is these two weapon racks, which don't have anything spectacular in them, but we're going to handle this stuff off. Now, I'm giving the mace to Nishka for a reason, because after we finish here, the very next thing that we're going to do, actually it's not, the bandit camp is next, then the graveyard. And when we go to the graveyard, she is better, well, everyone is better off with blunt weapons. In particular, rapiers, a piercing weapon, are notoriously bad against undead. So, whoop. We want to be ready for that, and make sure she's got a mace standing by that she can use. Are we going to be able to rest down here? Nope. That's alright. I can survive one more fight without resting, and we only need to do these guys here.
Time for a little fun.
And there we go. Let's how we're doing. We've got a little while for a level. We're not going to get one here, that's for sure. Well, we might have if we had have done this straight away after leaving the Weeping Willow. It would have just been me and Kelgar.
Take that!
And a critical hit from Nishka. I definitely got to find somewhere to have some sort of critical hit button, I think, that I can push that has some sort of noise, some sort of sound whenever we crit. Can I? Come on, Nishka, do your job. As soon as you've done that, we're going to turn around and we're going to go back over this way. Oh, because there's remains there that we didn't pick up, which we want 7 gold. We can buy that ivory back scratcher. And then we want to be able to rest so I can get full hit points, so we can go in here and kill this lizardfolk captain or chieftain or whatever he is and get the bone gnasher and give it to Kelgar. Look at his hit points, 75, that's obscene. And he doesn't even have anything that... And crits on the shaman. 13 points damage. Now let's take out the chieftain. Okay, no, we'll take out the other one first. Now we'll take out the chieftain. And he's down. So the chieftain has... Oops. The chieftain has the Bone Phoenix. That's what it's called. I got it wrong before. Whatever I was thinking it wasn't. That's yours, Kelgar. Enjoy it while you can.
Yes.
I've said this before in other playthroughs, but I'll point out why I like this again. It's because it does 1d6 bonus fire damage. There are some weapons out there that'll just do like a bonus 1 or 2 points. This does 1d6, so it can do an extra 6 points of damage if you're lucky. So I like that. I think that's a good thing. So we're going to sell the rest of these now, and you're going to use this exclusively until we can get a better hammer. I thought there was another weapon rack in here. I always think there's another weapon rack in here, and there isn't.
Everybody, follow me!
It's because there's all these weapon racks just sitting around which you can't do anything with. So, trap 1, and lock 1. They're not really 1 and 2, it's just whatever. And trap, and lock, and we're all good. And I don't really want these boots, so I'm going to give them to Kelgar. So far I think Kelgar is the only person that I have always kept in my party. I've dropped Nishka out. I've even occasionally dropped Elanee out. I never take Grobnar. I've used Cora, and I'll probably use her again in this playthrough. I've been forced to use Sand. I don't mind Cassavir, and I don't mind Chandra. Or was it? Did I drop Kelgar out to take Chandra? No, I don't think I did. Okay, there are some more lizardfolk on the way out. See, we can see them up there. So let's see if we can't put Some crossbow bolts into them.
And all within it.
And cleave with a critical hit. That's what I like to see, and it's a crit on an 18. I think my puppy girl wants Daddy to be quiet, but it's not going to happen. Switch back to this, and we're going to rest up. Now we'll head into Fort Locke and sell stuff, and then we'll do the bandit camp, I guess. Or we might, it's been a 2-hour stream, we might call it we might come into Fort Locke and then have a break, I think. Come back and do some more tomorrow. Mayhaps. So let's just go and see Galen here and sell up. Wait for Kelgar to get close. Wait. Oh, I've got to do this conversation. Show me what you have for sale. There we go. That's what I want.
Yes.
Give me these weapons. Did any of you have anything that we still need to sell? You've got that.
Yes.
And you picked up those.
Yes.
And you're good. I really need to... I'm going to split this. Give some to you and some to you. Hopefully I'll find some more soon. I never keep Thieves' Tools +1. I always sell them. Rightio, there's nothing there amongst armor or anything that's really all that useful for any of my guys. What we do want though is the lesser magic bag, and for once I'm going to give it straight to Kelgar rather than taking it for myself, because he is my pack mule, and so that will allow him to carry just a little bit more. Okay folks, I think I'm going to call that an episode. Thanks for watching, and I will see you next time.